Transistory. What are we but a frequency? According to Alchemy of 9 Dimensions, 9 dimensions of consciousness are available to humans while they are in physical bodies. The Heliopolitan Mystery School, one of 3 ancient Egyptian theological schools, also taught that humans can attain these 9 multi-dimensional levels. During the past 3,000 years, our perceptual range has become so limited that we perceive only this dimension, lineal space and time. This has made us so left-brain dominant that people think Egyptian sacred science is arcane nonsense. Based on vibrational resonance, many other dimensions exist, whether people tune into them or not, as described by advanced mathematics. Modern humans detect these vibrations, just as the Heliopolitan mystery schools described how the ancient Egyptians also accessed many dimensions. The higher dimensions, the 5th through 9th, all vibrate to stellar frequencies. The lower dimensions, the 1st and 2nd, are the vibrations of Earth. And the middle dimensions, the 3rd and 4th, vibrate in Hertz frequency ranges that most people detect. The 3rd dimension is linear space and time, while the 4th dimension is the aggregate of human emotions, which functions at the quantum level by means of probabilities. We may or may not act on something we feel. Spiritual mediums act as a receiver of messages from living spirits who broadcast on their frequency, and which they then pass on to the recipient. They often speak of the feeling the spirit brings, almost as if their energy is entered into the body, mind or psyche of the medium. Clairaudience will hear the messages through their inner ear.
It is the absolute, unmoving essence of pure presence.
Religions often set themselves up as the only receiver that can interpret the transmissions of God, and only through them can you receive the true frequency, while dismissing any negative thoughts which your brain may relay as coming from evil. They know how to move your dial to exactly where they want you, in a state to receive them and their message. Other people can try to control your dial by manipulating your moods and states of being, working you, forcing you to react to their position. The state and governments do the same. They know which buttons to push to move you, and for you to have the correct emotional reaction for their purpose, moving you skillfully into position. But all of this is under your power. You control the dial. You can attune it to the frequency you desire. When you need a different tone or focus, take control of the dial. Take control of the dial. Languages are frequencies. Different peoples communicating the same information on a different wavelength band, out of range of those who don't speak it. Emotions are frequencies and transmissions, moods, different states of being, angry, happy, sad. We talk of being high or in a low mood, like there's a scale or range. How far from my own emotions I had to go in order to open what I was resisting to show.
We must have a blade that is so thin that it can cut pure awareness away from thought, away from emotion, away from projection into identification with body. We must completely has no reaction to anything that occurs in any of those other layers.
The Large Hadron Collider near Geneva studies electromagnetic force interaction between subatomic composite particles by colliding lead and proton beams. They split the atom in 1945. Now they are starting to study how to reassemble the particles within the atoms to eventually reform them to a different place, like a transporter beam. The planetary movements offer direction with their energy for your development. Neptune for the invisible spiritual, and new discoveries, more somnus for putting to sleep and waking things up within, and hypnosis. Kunkel Homdima for shapeshifting, Leloquiona and Tiaranawako for distancing, and Altjira for the dream world. The planetary activity creates changing energies through time, presenting us with different feelings, moods and frequencies that move through us, or we move through an experience, bringing opportunity for breakthrough or catharsis, depending on which planets are involved and how they affect us personally and collectively. What are we but a frequency? Take control of the dial. Transistory.